Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you, getting into my monthly budget closeout. Now I've already closed out the budget by closing out my weekly check-in 5 and my paycheck 2 closeouts. That gives me the monthly budget closeout, but a lot of you like this particular layout and it's just a monthly budget closeout snapshot. So that's what I have here. I did not have any extra income come in this month, so we're going to total up the income and the over-unders over here. We'll total up both these columns and then come up with a specific number that I already know, but I had to do an adjustment this month. So if you saw my last video where I close out the monthly budget by closing out my weekly check-in and my paycheck 2 budget, you would know I messed up the money somehow and transferred money in different ways, and I'm not sure how to figure it out, but I know how much I have in the checking account the night before the deposit hits. So that is the number we're looking for, and I just made an adjustment to make it fit. It's a fictional number. It's not attached to anything specific. I just think I moved too much out of my checking into the savings for my sinking funds. And if you saw my sinking funds video that came out on Monday, that video shows that I was over about the same amount. So I don't know what I did wrong, but my accounts have too little in one and too much in the other, and they're about the same. So I'm not really losing a lot of money, but at the same time, I'm not sure what happened. So we're just going to go with it. I'm going to go ahead and add the totals of how much we spent in all our categories from grocery, household, restaurants, miscellaneous, gas, copay, and unbudgeted. And then that'll give us all the information we need in these columns. I saved that for last because I don't know until the day I close out the budget how much those totals are going to be. So let me fill this out and I'll be right back. So I have everything written down and I'm ready to go. And we're just going to total up the numbers. So let's work with the deposits. All right, so we had $8,794.71 as our total. We were only up a little bit. I always get like pennies deposited in our checking account from our bank. It's a credit union, so they always have this 3 or 4 pennies that come, 2 or 3 pennies actually come in every month, and that's fine. So I account for that there. I had $1.26 more for what I planned for my husband's paycheck 1 salary, and then paycheck 2 salary was $2.08 more. This fluctuates depending on taxes and stuff, so that's why you see that. $3.37. I always budget below what I think my husband's going to get. He's been averaging over $1,735 per paycheck, so that's pretty good. I've pretty much got as close as I can to that. So let's go ahead and total up the expenses. Had to stop myself there. I started doing this number and I was like, wait a minute, I need to put this number down. So I have $5,860.02. And that is this column right here. It was a little higher because water was higher and sinking funds were higher than what I planned. And compared to my notes, this is the right answer. I know I made a mistake there for a second, but it's still the right answer. So we're good to go there. Let's total up the actuals here. I'm going to stop just before the adjustment and kind of make sure this number is correct. If not, I'll write the right number and we'll go on from there. All right, so without that number, we're sitting at $2,735.37. I'm going to go ahead and add this number. I changed my mind. $82.49. And let's see if all these numbers magically work together. We'll see. Because I didn't write my notes this way. $2,817.86. I can erase it and change it if necessary. So $8,794.71 minus the $5,860.02 and minus $2,817.86. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. My balance left over is 116. So actual balance forward, and I have it written over here under, it's not an important project, but I just write it over here. $116.83. That's what I have left over. And that is going to balance forward into October. I need the extra money in October to kind of cover some expenses there that I have going on. And yeah, we're all good. So this is what's left over at the end of the month, $116. This is exactly what's sitting in my checking account, which is why I have this adjustment here, because I did too much in my sinking funds and took out too much in my checking account for that. And I don't know how or why or what. It still doesn't make sense to me, but it doesn't matter as long as I have the end of the month numbers. I know how to make the adjustments to make it fit and come up with the exact number that's sitting in the checking account. And as long as I know that, and exact number sitting in the savings account, and as long as I know that, then I can move on to the next month. And that is what's important in budgeting, is not just tracking everything and not just being accurate as possible, but when you're not accurate, what do? How do you handle it? What's the best way of handling it? Should you try to go back and track it down, or should you just allow it and go, it's not worth tracking down. I'll just start from here and move forward. So those are the things you have to think through when you are budgeting, if something like this ever happens to you guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.
Did you ever stop and think, why spend too much time just getting ready? Let me be honest, I don't know one single thing that I haven't done to make you notice.